Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Monday morning. It's a couple of days since I did a recorded video because I was live non-stop yesterday. I did close to 5.5 hours of live streams chopped up into 3 different lives. So they're all there on the channel if you want to go and check out the replays. In this video, I want to give a full summary of everything that's gone on so far over the last few days in regards to the search for Michael Joseph Vaughan. I've had loads of comments saying, you know, the basics. How long has he been missing? When did he go missing? Where does he live? Those kind of things. So in this video, I'm going to catch everybody up. There's people coming into this case now because it's gaining publicity because there's a search of a particular residence. The police chief, J.D. Huff from Fruitland PD, has said they're looking for his remains. So it's attracted a lot of attention, way more attention than it's had over the 475 days that Michael has been missing. Before I get into this video, Brandy, Michael's mother, has appealed that please respect their privacy at this time. I can't imagine how devastated the family feel that Michael's remains could have been very, very close to their home all of this time. Brandy and Tyler, who's Michael's dad, have never lost hope that Michael would come home alive. And we still have that hope. But realistically speaking, this tip that law enforcement are saying is very credible, and an excavation of an entire backyard of a property is currently underway. They'll be in the 3rd day once they start searching again today. So please respect the family's privacy at this time. There's no need for anyone to go there. If any YouTubers are thinking of going there, please don't. Please don't. Please respect the family's privacy. They are absolutely devastated, and law enforcement don't need your help. They've got it covered, right? Whether intentions are honourable or not, they've got it covered. Please do not interfere with the investigation. I cannot stress that enough. Brandy has also said that people reporting on this case, please stick to the facts. And that's what I've tried to do throughout my reporting across my channel yesterday. I've tried to stick to the facts. Now, this is a rapidly changing situation, so I can't stress enough that some of the information that we believe is factual at the moment might change. But as it's rapidly developing, I will update as this case progresses. She's also said, please share Michael's photos. Put his picture up there. Let people see how beautiful Michael is. Just the happy, smiling, not a care in the world little boy. Something very, very tragic happened to him. Very evil. Evil walks among us. And this credible tip that came into law enforcement last Friday, so 4 days ago now, has led to an excavation of a property that is very close to the home of Michael and his family. It's 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland, and it is this property here that you can see highlighted with the red pin, and it is just 2 minutes in a car, according to Google Maps, 0.5 miles away from Michael's home on Southwest 9th Street. Just 2 minutes in a car or 9 minutes walking. That's how close this property is to Michael's home. Can you imagine how devastating that is for the family to kind of have in their head that Michael's remains have just literally been half a mile away all of this time? Michael has been missing for 475 days. That's a long time for a family to live in anguish, but they have been so strong, so stoic. Brandy in particular has been so courageous in just keeping Michael's name, his details out there, and just giving us the voice of hope that Michael will come home. And Michael may well come home, but not in the way that the family wanted or anybody wanted. But if his remains are recovered from 1102 Red Wing Street, yes, it's tragic, it's horrible, but at least we know where Michael has been. He can be laid to rest in dignity, not just buried in someone's backyard. He could be laid to rest in dignity where his family can visit him. And importantly, it's the first step to achieving justice for Michael Vaughan. No one deserves it more than Michael. The person or persons responsible for whatever happened to Michael need to pay for this. They need to pay with their freedom. They need to be locked up for a very, very, very long time. So we don't know what led the police to this address. We don't know what the tip was, where the tip came from, the particulars of it. That's not been disclosed by law enforcement. Obviously, this is key to the investigation, so they're not going to give details like that away. But they started searching there on Friday. They got a search warrant for a judge to sign off a search warrant. The probable cause must be big because it's a full excavation of the property. It's a mammoth task. Now, this is not a big property. The footprint of the property, the lot, is 78 by 78 feet. But there's a lot of earth to cover, and they've got to do this in a very meticulous way so that they don't disturb any evidence that might be there, whether that's Michael's remains, whether that's evidence that Michael was there. So what they do is they take a digger in and they peel off layers. If anybody's familiar with kind of an archaeological dig, you'll know what I mean. They peel off layers, and that earth is being taken away for analysis. So they'll be analysing sections of that earth. So it's a mammoth task. They started there on Friday. They did Saturday, Sunday. There's a number of agencies there, not just Fruitland PD, but the Idaho State Police. There's search and rescue teams there. There've been 2 cadaver dogs there yesterday. JD Huff, in reporting to the media last night, wouldn't give any details on what the dogs alerted on or if the dogs alerted. But there were 2 dogs there who were reported by the reporters on scene that they went in one at a time, and there was activity all around that. So we can only imagine maybe that something has been found, but we don't know. We don't know if anything's being found at this moment in time. They're back there at 9 a.m. today, Fruitland time, which is Mountain Standard Time. So I'm 7 hours ahead of Mountain Standard Time, so that'll be 4 p.m. for me. So I will be going live about 4 p.m. today, 4 p.m. or thereabouts. I'll put the scheduler up so that you can be notified if YouTube bothers to notify you of my live stream. So for those not familiar with the case, Michael went missing from outside of his home, from the street. It's a suburban street, nice neighbourhood, semi-rural, very quiet, on the evening of the 27th of July 2021. As I'm recording this, that is 475 days. Brandy, Michael's mother, was at work. His older brother and sister were in the home, but they obviously do their own thing. They're teenagers. And he had a baby sister who was 1 at the time. She's now 3, but she was 1 at the time. And Tyler, Michael's dad, was looking after the family while Brandy was at work. And he got distracted by the baby. He needed to change the baby's diaper. He was in one of the bedrooms changing the baby's diaper. He last saw Michael in the living room, and he thought that Michael was just playing on his games console. He had a Nintendo Switch. At 6:40, Tyler ordered pizza. It was at that point that Tyler realised that Michael was no longer in the home, and he'd gone out one of the doors. He can't get out the front door, but he can get out of the side door. He knows he's not allowed out on the front, but sometimes, little 5-year-olds can do things that are unexpected. They know it's naughty, but they do it anyway. And Michael was seen on the street, again, just a very quiet, semi-rural, very safe neighbourhood. Michael was seen by several neighbours. He was spoken to at 6:37 on the street, and a neighbour who was on their way to, I think, shopping at Walmart, actually walked Michael back just a few doors down, walked him back to his yard and left him at the mailbox and told him to go in. Unfortunately, I guess this neighbour's going to regret this for the rest of her life. Unfortunately, they did not take Michael to the door and alert Tyler that Michael had been missing. So a dreadful situation. We're all wise in the benefit of hindsight, but that's what happened. And then between 6:37 and for about the next 10 minutes, Michael was seen by, I think, about 5 neighbours. I've heard kind of conflict. I've heard 3 neighbours, 5 neighbours, but several neighbours. One neighbour reportedly saw him stopping and putting his flip-flop back on. He just had little flip-flops on, so he couldn't go anywhere really fast. Once Tyler realised that Michael was missing, he searched the house and the backyard. He thought Michael might be in his brother's room, so he went there. He went to the workshop in the back. He searched the house thoroughly. Michael was not there, so about 7 p.m, he left the house to look for Michael just around the streets, around the neighbourhood, in his car. The first place he went to is the splash pad at Cresswell Park, which is 0.1 miles, just literally round the corner from the home, because that's where Michael liked to go and play. But he wasn't there. Tyler is seen on CCTV at the splash pad at 7:01. He then rings Brandy, searches the neighbourhood, and at 7:21, once he realised that Michael was nowhere to be seen, he called 911, and that is confirmation by law enforcement. Law enforcement, in their press update in July of this year, so to mark the year that Michael had been missing, they gave a window of 20 minutes, that there was 20 minutes where no one saw Michael. Thereabouts, maybe a little bit less than 20 minutes, because he was seen by several neighbours. But it's a very small window where someone had the opportunity to take him. A vehicle that was cruising around the neighbourhood and then was last seen at 6:47 was this white Honda Pilot that you see here on the screen. That Honda Pilot, as far as I'm aware, has not been accounted for. But we don't know whether that's relevant to the current situation. At the July press conference, they also released this photograph taken by CCTV, someone's surveillance camera. And this is a man that was seen walking around the neighbourhood, so quite a slim build, wearing a white t-shirt, black shorts, possibly has a tattoo on his leg, but it could just be shading, we're not sure. But this is another person that they wanted to speak to, simply to eliminate them from their inquiries. And again, as far as I know, this person has not come forward. However, we don't know whether that's relevant to what's going on at this current time. So 1102 Red Wing Street is lived at by Stacey and Sarah Wondra. Stacey's the male, Stacey and Sarah Wondra. They're both in jail at the moment. I guess it doesn't raise any suspicion whatsoever that a couple only 0.5 miles away would be aware of the search. They've been posting on their social media about Michael. Stacy even changed his Facebook profile picture to Michael at one time. There's pictures of Sarah with Michael's missing poster in the background. So they're very aware of this situation, and you wouldn't think anything of it because they're locals. It's just very icky. It makes me feel sick just thinking if they are responsible, one or both of them is responsible for what happened to Michael, and they buried him in the backyard. It's just horrible that they were almost lording it over everyone. I don't know. It just gives me a horrible feeling. It really does. I can confirm that they do indeed live there. There's been a number of businesses owned by this couple, but this is just one. The businesses are no longer active because they're in jail, but you can see on this that the mailing address is 1102 Red Wing Street. It has been said, I can't confirm this absolutely, it has been said that the property is owned by Sarah's parents, but they are registered living there. It's their mailing address for one of their companies. So it's the right people, even though they've not been named by law enforcement. But there's no doubt that they were the occupants of 1102 Red Wing Street at the time that Michael disappeared. Now, Stacy has been in jail since May. And somebody sent me all the court information. So every time something happens to somebody while they're in jail or while they're out on bond, anybody awaiting trial, then the court system in that area updates. So you can see that there's been a lot of updates while Stacy has been in jail. You can see here, right at the bottom, Tuesday, May the 10th, there was an order regarding a sealed motion as to Stacey James Wondra, signed by Judge Raymond Edward Patrico, I think that says. Another sealed motion here. And there's very little information out about this case. What he's actually being detained for is very, very vague. You can see here, May 31, there's another sealed document. And as we go through, there's loads of docket entries. The latest is from early November. You can see that his plea has changed. Change of plea hearing is currently set from November 9th to December 22nd. His attorney has changed. So there's things happening in this case. But until Saturday, I became aware of this new development on Saturday. I didn't know that Stacey James Wondra or Sarah Wondra existed. It came completely out of the blue. As far as I'm concerned, at least, maybe people close to the family and the family had some awareness. I don't know the answer to that, but I certainly wasn't aware that these people existed. So all of this court proceedings that have been going on since May, I've not been aware of, and I would guess that the vast majority of people who have been following this case have also not been aware that this has been going on. But we don't know why Stacy is in jail. There's a tantalising clue. There's a document that has been out there. This is for federal charges because it says the United States of America versus Stacey Wondra, and it's a detention motion, so it's basically saying why Stacey Wondra has to stay in jail. And you can see here that this is a felony concerning either a minor child, weapons possession, or something to do with an RSO registry. So it's tantalising clue, but we've got absolutely no idea why Stacy is in jail. There's no indication that this is anything to do with Michael at this stage. Sarah was also booked into jail on November the 12th, and these are her charges. So again, we don't know the context behind these, but aggravated assault, unlawful possession of a weapon, evidence destruction, controlled substance possession, and battery. So we don't know when those crimes occurred, those alleged crimes, but these are the charges. So both Stacy and Sarah Wondra are now in jail. Now it's interesting, the timing for Sarah's booking into jail is very, very interesting, given that that tip came in and this search has been underway since. I could speculate that Sarah has talked, could speculate that someone else has talked who's connected to this. We just don't know, and I don't want to speculate too much. I want to keep this to the facts as the family request. There's a few other things that are of interest. They do have social media. They have TikTok, they have Facebook. Their TikTok account is Sarah and Stacey W, and there was this short video posted on there the very day that Michael disappeared. TikTok doesn't give you the upload time, it gives you the upload date, it doesn't give you the upload time. But I did go into the source code and found the time. This is in Unix time, so this is how many seconds have occurred from January 1st, 1970 to the time that this code was created. So if you do the conversion of Unix time to actual time, it is July 27th at 14:42 my time. So I have to take 7 hours off that. At 7:42, almost 7:43 in the morning by either Stacy or Sarah. The day before Michael went missing, the day before this TikTok, on July 26th, Stacy posted on social media that Sarah was in hospital. So we don't know how long Sarah's hospital stay was, but there was a TikTok on the 29th, so 2 days after Michael went missing, and you can hear a woman in the background. Is that Sarah? We don't know.
I feel exfoliated.
Exfoliating is exfoliating your skin.
Oh, well, I feel infoliated then.
There's no such thing as infoliated.
There is now, because I just made that shit up.
Was Stacy home alone and Sarah was in hospital at the time that Michael disappeared? We don't know at this stage. So that's a quick synopsis of where we're up to. As I said, I will be live from 4 p.m. my time, which will be 9 a.m. Fruitland time. So I hope that at least some of you can join me, talk through the facts, discuss the facts. No drama, no BS, just the facts. All right, guys, let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. I've been Michelle. Hope you're well. I'll see you in the next video. It's goodbye from Miss Tillington and Miss Cassie Springer. Bye, guys.